5 years ago, before I was on the show, was surfing, and there's a cute boy. He asked me out, so I went out with him, and then I found out he was a police officer. And immediately, unlike Josie liked it, my character. I was like immediately very paranoid, and I just don't like being self-aware. Like, I just like to be free and whatever. But immediately I was so self-aware that I would do something wrong, or like cross the street, and maybe like he would give me a jaywalking ticket. So obviously it never went further after that.
This cop car pulled up, and the two guys jumped out, and they literally pushed me up against the building. They said, "Stand there, don't move, sir. We have enough information to arrest you right now." And I was like, what? Have I gone into a time warp and forgotten something that I did or whatever? And then this other police car came by, and there was obviously a guy in the back who was IDing. There's like a tall guy in a particular kind of coat, blah, 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 and they were certain it was me. And then the car kind of sped off, and the two guys looked at me, the two cops looked at me, and they went, "I'm very sorry to have disturbed you, sir," and walked off.
My mom was speeding a little bit because we were a little late, but she has a cop card that like excuses her from a few things. When the cop pulled us over for speeding, she gave him the card, and he was like, "Oh, whose is this?" And she said, "Oh, this is my boyfriend's son." And he looks at me, and she's like, "No, like my boyfriend's son is a cop, but he's older." And the cop was confused, and he was just like, "All right, just go."
You know, like the Hollywood and Highland intersection, it's just super congested, and I got stuck in the middle, and I just moved here, so I still had my Georgia plate. Two cops, like one on either side, knock on the window. I mean, I'm like a young girl in yoga pants. I don't know what they thought I was capable of. Like, I guess I'm kind of flattered. And they're like, "Is that how you drive in Georgia?" I'm like, "Oh, officers, I'm so sorry. Like, what would you have done? I had no idea." And then they're like, "Oh, actually, we're not going to give you a ticket, but we just had to make an example of you." They were like, "We had to pull you over because otherwise, like, it would look really bad for us. So just drive safe." And I'm like, what?
This movie was fortunately and unfortunately based on real life experiences of my impersonating a police officer when I was very young, very irresponsible, very young. And I learned the consequences, and what better way to write and direct what you know.
All my interactions with them are based in fear.
I get out of a lot of tickets because they think I'm my dad, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty funny too. Like, "Oh, Major Payne!" I'm like, yeah. All right, turd, and then they let me go.